Good day, viewers. Today I'm going to be demystifying how Starlink works. And once we've demystified how Starlink works, we can then take these concepts and technologies and see how they can be applied in Zimbabwe to improve internet access. So on its own, Starlink does not have internet. It relies on ground infrastructure to provide internet access through data centers and fiber connections. I'll give an example. The Starlink service is made up of three components. The first component is the user terminal, the dish, the equipment that is installed at the customer end. The second component are the Starlink dishes that are in LEO, that are orbiting around the Earth. Currently there is more than 6,000. And the final component which connects to the internet is the ground station. Currently there are two ground stations. Both of them are in Nigeria and they are providing internet for the whole of Africa. The fact that SADC is a long way from Nigeria, that is why the latencies in Southern Africa are one of the highest in the on the Starlink network, and that's because the gateway the Starlink gateways are further away. So Starlink built its system by incorporating it to third-party infrastructures, in this case Nigeria. So Nigeria is providing internet access to Starlink. So the benefits of that is that the ISPs there are paid by Starlink, so thereby getting forex. So this is basically what's called infrastructure sharing. So Starlink did not recreate the wheel. They saw the components that were working, and then now they targeted the components that were not available, which is the last mile connection to the end user. So we can then, in Zimbabwe, we can then learn from that concept of infrastructure sharing. This is where, when Starlink comes in, it's not a threat, but it's a possibility to collaborate, because Starlink has a lot of these collaborations. So the idea of how Starlink was built was in a way that it wants to collaborate with other existing data centers, internet service providers. So the benefits of approving Starlink in Zimbabwe is that if we set up a gateway, we speak to Starlink so that Starlink can set up a gateway in Zimbabwe. What it means is that Starlink now then uses the local infrastructure to provide internet for the SADC region, meaning that our ISPs can now then get forex from Starlink for providing the internet service, something they're already doing. But now they have much more coverage because they're now providing for SADC. This is in line with Starlink's vision of reducing latencies to 20 milliseconds. What it means is that it will improve the Starlink internet service in the region, but it will also improve the internet in Zimbabwe, because for us to set up a ground station, we need to refurbish our internet exchange. We need to improve our internet exchange, and by improving our internet exchange, it means that the internet improves, because as we speak right now, most of Zimbabwe's internet is not going through the internet exchanges in Zimbabwe. It's going through an internet exchange in South Africa, which is why the latencies are still a bit high even on the fiber network. So this is a chance for Zimbabwe to improve its internet connection. But this concept can be taken a step further into improving our other services by sharing infrastructure. For example, there's many places where you'll see five or six base stations. One base station belonging to Econet, another one to Tel1, another one to Net1, another one to Liquid Home, another one to PowerTel, Africom. So what it means is that all these base stations might need a separate fiber connection. because of the ZESA outages, you need different generators, you need different security, so it's a multiplication of the same costs. But if we take the same concept of Starlink, whereby instead of liquid, I'm sure many of you have wanted to get a Vibronics line, but every time you go there, they tell you that the boosters are full. So instead of, for example, Liquid building a different base station for WiMAX, they can actually share the infrastructure with Econet. And then the cost of building the base station can be actually used to buy bandwidth. And then now Econet can grow as a company to deliver more 5G base stations. That way, it means that wherever you are, you can now use a Vibronics line. Same thing with what happened to the Blaze service in Taiwan. That service could have easily been running on top of Econet and providing a much better service. What this then does is that it will help them reduce the cost of a company. For example, Just Blaze does not need to now start creating more base stations, but they can easily integrate with Net1 and Taiwan. Africom can work with Liquid for their SIM cards, and Econet as well. That means that those services will now be available to the whole of Zim immediately. So the concept of Starlink is a concept of working with other ISPs, and if we can improve on that, our internet too will also improve by embracing infrastructure